RPGs, short for role-playing games, is an archetype of video games deeply ingrained into today's gaming culture. With many titles ranging from the classic Legend of Zelda to modern indie titles like Elden Ring. All these games capture the player's attention through cool mechanics, equipment, and boss fights. To be able to perfect each of these areas makes an RPG good, and to be able to expand the RPG further through adding its own unique twist makes an RPG one of the best. Only a select few could be considered as such. But what if I told you one of them is a Roblox game? Okay, I get it. Roblox, to many people, just seems like this. Which is fair enough. But there is also a side of Roblox beautiful. In essence, it's just another platform for developers to express their creativity. There are ups and there will be downs. The game I'll be talking about is this, Fantastic Frontier. It is an open-world RPG developed by SpectraBlocks and Gorbachi, where you start off spawn into this beautiful fantasy world in the gates of Toppletown. Gameplay and progression can be split into three main areas: exploring, collecting, and combat. There is no main quest line, but your general goal is to get money, buy better equipment, and fight stronger enemies while exploring the world. Doing so reveals new areas, each with unique collectibles to be, collected and sold for money to NPCs. In total, to get to endgame, I'd estimate each player would take around 150 to 200 hours depending on your playstyle and pace. Microtransactions in this game are minimal and, to be frank, not very worth it, where even after beating the hardest bosses, Nightmare, as of the current update, there are still numerous things to do, such as grinding fishing quests, finding rare items, and getting more unique equipment. This creates a fundamentally fun RPG, with clear methods of progression, an engaging world, and items which draw you to play more. But what makes this, in my opinion, one of the best RPGs? Imagine you're the average Roblox player, where most games look like this. So, you click into this game, maybe a friend or the algorithm recommended, and you're greeted by this setting. A stylish world with its own unique geometric feel, differentiating it from other games. With the subversion of expectations, the beauty is further enhanced. This beauty draws the player to explore and gives a satisfying sense of progression every time you discover a new and unique area, from the starting town to later areas like Black Rock Mountain and endgame areas like Ratboy's Nightmare. Each area has its own charm. I especially like how different the Nightmare dimension is compared to the other settings you have gotten used to, where instead of a bright fantasy world, you're put into this liminal, eerie area with deadly enemies looming at every corner. A prime example would be the road, an area you will likely encounter mid-game to unlock the key to the next boss fight. It is a long road veiled by darkness, where the further you walk, the more eerie it becomes. The floor soon becomes cracked, and before you know it, you're parkouring across floating pieces of debris while avoiding deadly monsters left and right. All this to build up to End of Road, the next area, where you encounter the mini-boss Democan. The time commitment you put into traversing the road, the music, the atmosphere, everything, makes the fight feel intimidating and in turn, makes beating the boss just as rewarding. Fantastic Frontier was able to make use of its settings and atmosphere to charm the player, being able to successfully portray the imagery intended by the developers effectively. This sets the stage and creates a perfect foundation to make a memorable gameplay experience, making it a clear frontrunner for an important aspect of RPGs. The visual and auditory aspects, a key tool in leaving an impression and attracting a new player base. The gameplay itself is simple to grasp, but has a large amount of potential. Like many RPGs, the game gives you an open world to explore, monsters to defeat, and numerous methods to make money and get better equipment. However, unlike many RPGs, there is no leveling system and no main questline the player has to follow. The player is given freedom, the factor which helps this game shine in my eyes. You start off in Toppletown with nothing but a wooden sword, and are free to do whatever you want. You can pick up trash, go fishing, or instantly start harassing other players. The town is littered with NPCs to talk to, shopkeepers to buy equipment from, and this fat-ass raccoon who tells you, "I have something to sell." Though of course there are optimal ways to grind for money, players are presented with a variety of options on how they want to do it. There are gacha elements such as fishing or hunting for bird's nest with a 1% chance of giving golden eggs, which sell for $1 million. Or you can hunt for monsters for a steady stream of income, while carrying the risk of dying. The third option is my personal favorite option, and is what really drew me to play more of this game. The world of this game is filled with collectibles of varying rarity, from having simple flowers to presents which might contain endgame gear. You need to collect those items and sell them to raccoons around town to make money. This system is a catalyst to help players ease into this huge open world game, where during your expeditions you'll encounter monsters, discover shopkeepers, obtain rare equipment, and so on, making the game feel more like you're just exploring naturally for the sake of exploring, not to do some arbitrary questline to save Princess Afghanistan. One thing to keep in mind is that dying will cause you to lose all your non-key items that aren't currently being equipped. This maintains a certain risk factor that is able to increase the player's perception to the value of the in-game currency and items. Every in-game day you also get one free teleport back to Toppletown to get out of some tight situations. This system may seem frustrating at first, but in this game, it makes it shine so much more. Players are given full control over their adventures. You may die, lose some valuable items, get frustrated over a close boss fight. It makes each adventure feel that much more rewarding regardless of which part of progression you're currently at. Where if you're new, you're led to learn more about the map structure, and eventually meet the bosses. But this all just makes for a raw, engaging experience. It makes each adventure feel just that much more rewarding regardless of which part of progression you are currently in. Where if you're new, you're led to learn more about the map structure and eventually meet the bosses. And at the very top, some fights still could be just as adrenaline-inducing, unlike some games where you start off wielding a stick and end up being literal god. To summarize, the player is given freedom, numerous ways to progress, and the death system is balanced in a way where it's not too frustrating, but still introduces risk and reward. As of right now, there are 9 bosses/mini-bosses in the game, with many more challenging enemies scattered across each part of the map. None of the bosses are required, but each have their own unique drops which help boost progression. For example, the first boss, Spider, drops spider stilts which increase movement speed and jump height. Second boss has a guaranteed chance to drop a magma core which can be sold for a lot of money, and has a chance to drop a powerful early game melee weapon which is the magma hammer. Mid-game, you can explore the Nightmare Dimension, fighting mini-bosses like the Cricket, Democam, and the Lost to gain keys, armor sets, and a fucking flamethrower to continue progression up to the final Nightmare boss fight. By endgame, you can go through the 50-floor dungeon to fight Mr. 58, go down rabbit holes which randomly spawn to fight the Parasites, and go to Matamuda to fight Cosmic Ghost and the First Knight. All of which having a chance of dropping powerful equipment and vanity items. Combat is split into 3 main classes and 2 more subclasses, where the class effectiveness is fully dependent on the player's equipment, so players are free to switch playstyles whenever. The classes are Melee, Ranged, Magic, a Generalist class, where stat points are evenly distributed, and a Specialist class, where you fully invest in a specific type of damage. The latter two consisting of additional classless gear such as daggers, which grant more damage based on how specialized you are, or flamethrowers, which damage scales based on your average stat point across all 3 classes. You can equip up to 5 items at a time and switch between them freely. While most early game items just do simple attacks like swings or shoot arrows, more advanced items usually have unique abilities, where a fun strategy is to switch between those different weapon abilities and do cool combos. Attacking, using abilities, and sprinting all use the same stamina bar, so you need to carefully manage and conserve your energy. Additionally, there are also many mobility items, such as boots, rockets, or umbrellas to diversify your dodging capabilities, as of the current Masamuda update. Like many other aspects of this game, freedom is highlighted. Many different equipment has potential to be effective, and it's only limited by the player's creativity and understanding of the game. This limitless feeling is embodied in the game's mechanics, progression, and made fun with equipment and bosses. To conclude, Fantastic Frontier is a spectacular RPG, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in Roblox, and creates a fun and engaging concept through perfecting key concepts. What this game does best is the sheer sense of freedom the player gets, and it taps into the human urge to explore. My suggestions for future updates include exploration in the PvP aspect, by introducing tournaments, and maybe adding more social features like setting up parties and clans. Good news is, a new huge update has been teased on Twitter, formerly known as X, showing off many more content, mechanics, and locations to explore. If you are looking for a fun and free RPG which can basically run on any platform, you can click onto the link in the description and try out this game. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoy the style of this content, please consider liking and subscribing. See you in the next video!